Good evening, everybody, and welcome to my social media discussion with particular relevance to ADIs this evening. It's an introductory webinar. We'll be covering everything from Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and as well as Instagram, as well as just giving you a little bit of an outline of how to use social media effectively in your ADI business. So it's a brave new world out there, and it seems to all be within the parameters of your smartphone and your laptop. So this means that there are infinitely more ways than ever before to market your ADI business and communicate with your potential client base, who are undoubtedly all have an online presence. So this is the agenda for this evening. Hopefully when I say the word social media, you won't look like this lady here. But if you do, not to worry. Hopefully by the end of this evening, you'll be more au fait with all the ideas surrounding social media marketing, and you'll be able to tackle them yourself. I know everybody is going to be at different levels with regards to what they've dealt with in the past. Maybe some of you have got Facebook, some of you have got Twitter, some of you might be thinking about getting Facebook and Twitter accounts. I know you're all at different levels, so hopefully this introduction will be able to bring everybody up, to the same sort of level, and give you some more helpful hints and tips to kind of further your reach within this sphere. So I'll be looking at what exactly social media is, the concept of it broadly speaking, the benefits of social media, specifically those, with regards to driving instructors specifically, the golden rules of social media marketing, kind of little hints and tips that I've drawn up before we even start thinking about posting on social media, kind of what we should bear in mind. And then from there, once we know kind of how social media can benefit us and the golden rules of social media marketing, we'll be having a look at the four big players in social media: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. How to set them up, how to get the most of it out of it, and how to get better reach and ultimately get the word out about your ADI business. And lastly, I'm going to finish off with a bit of tips for better engagement, and then answering all your questions. So here we go. What is social media? And what is social media marketing? Well, essentially, social media is a place where you can build connections with vast amounts of people on a global scale, global interactions. It also invites participation. So you're there to speak to people in various different ways on different topics of your interests, and also invite participation from them. So you can start a conversation with others. So you're not only sending messages out there, but you're also receiving messages in real time. So you can receive real-time news and updates on anything around the world. Twitter was where I get all my news. It's where I get it first. So it's a great place to get the latest news in the just generally, but also the driving instructor sphere, and also deliver messages in real time to your audience, whether they be parents, young learner drivers, or your colleagues, other driving instructors. Bearing that in mind, it's a great place to create a community and discuss topics of interest, whether it be road safety or driving tuition. Ultimately, while we're here all tonight, it's about building brand awareness, and getting better reach, and ultimately, drumming up more business digitally. I've also put here that it is the future of communications and interactions, but I think that's slightly problematic. It is now. It's not the future. It is now. It's happening now. This is how people are interacting, communicating, and marketing themselves. So, why use social media, and why make use of social media marketing? Ultimately, driving instructors need to look at their target markets. Who are their customers? And undoubtedly, they are mostly, not all the time. I don't want to be, presumptuous, but they're mostly young people. And where are young people these days? How do young people communicate? It's overwhelmingly on social media. on Facebook and Twitter. Very little of their communication gets done face to face, or in magazines, or where do they get their information? Where do they speak to their fellow kind of friends and family? It's all on social media. So it's a great place to promote your company and products. It builds greater brand awareness, visibility, and publicity. You're seen in more places more often. It's a great place to build up followers and fans, and hopefully those followers and fans will in turn, become your pupils. It's great for greater reach for your website and your SEO. Ultimately, websites are not going to disappear because of social media, but they work very well hand in hand. And if you've got a great website, you'll link that to all your social media profiles and vice versa. And it gets added reach for your website, and adds to something called SEO, which I'm sure some of you will know about. It's called search engine optimization. And that is essentially when you type in driving lessons Birmingham or driving lessons London, those schools with the best SEO, the best keywords, the best websites will jump up the top of Google rankings. And having social media profiles that talk about your business and are linked to your website increases your SEO ranking. Social media marketing is also great at complementing your other sources of your other means of marketing, whether it be email outs, if any of you do email outs, texts as well as any other kind of print advertising. I'm not saying that that can't and doesn't work, but I think it works great in tandem with other forms of marketing, especially digital. Social media marketing is great for word of mouth, great for getting the word out. People will write reviews about you, post on your wall, post on their own wall. I'll be talking about what a wall is exactly later, and giving you kind of great feedback and reviews on your business and getting the word out. And will essentially do the marketing for you. Your pupils on this kind of platform will do a lot of the marketing on your behalf. As I referenced a little bit before, you'll get more references to your company, products, and services by you and others. And it's great on a customer service point of view. You get more genuine interactions with people. They'll be asking you questions, you'll be posing questions to them, you'll be posting informative articles and things, and it gets a dialogue going. And as I said before, I don't want to completely get rid of any sort of offline marketing that you might want to do, whether it be kind of flyers and business cards and things like that. But sometimes these offline forms of marketing are quite hard and quite expensive actually to measure, to see how well they actually do. And as I said before, young people are spending less time kind of reading magazines and watching TV and listening to radio, because they're all on their smartphones, they're all interacting on social media. So we need to be where the audience is. So what I thought I'd do now is, before we start going into any any in-depth discussion on what platforms to use and how to set them up and start posting, I thought we should keep in mind some golden rules for social media marketing before we start posting and setting up those pages. So first of all, I'd say the most important is to stay relevant, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever it might be, keep on topic. So your social media profiles are essentially selling your lessons. So having funny videos of animals on there, or pictures and things like that, they're not really relevant, are they? And they're not really going to sell your lessons. So there are some fantastic stories out there centering around learning to drive and road safety, and some great kind of pictures and memes and videos of an informative nature that are sure to get your audience, the people that follow you or like you on Facebook. So they're sure to get this audience engaged and interested in your driving school. So rather stick to what and stay relevant to the topic at hand, which is driving and road safety. So by all means, let your personality shine through, but keep things on topic. Which leads me to my next point. Keep your professional and personal profiles separate. So this is an incredibly important one. I can't overstate this enough. It's possibly my most important rule, and one which very few small businesses and small business owners take heed of. For instance, many ADI businesses market themselves personally through their personal Facebook, purely through their personal Facebook page, which is a big no-no. So sharing your interests and opinions with your friends and posting funny animal videos and things are, of course, what makes social media what it is. But it isn't necessarily the best business move. Also, I don't think your potential customers want to see your holiday snaps. So I think just keep it professional, keep it on topic, and get yourself a business page. And I'm going to talk about how to get a business page this evening. It's completely different to a personal profile page, but I'm not saying get rid of your personal Facebook at all. I've got one, but keep them separate. Next up, I think it's important to mention that social media is a two-way street. So it's interactive and it's communicative by its very nature. No one likes being talked at. So instead of broadcasting bland marketing messages, post articles of interest and relevance, ask questions, and be approachable. Don't neglect direct messages. That's very important. You're going to get inquiries and messages coming in all the time and comments posted by your followers. And who knows, that might become your next student. And in turn, their friends might become your next students. So, and their friends and their friends. So everyone is linked on social media. You'll be amazed. So, be quick in answering those messages and those inquiries as soon as they come through. Next up, don't be too eager. Okay, don't clutter people's news feeds with too many posts. Having a Twitter handle, which I'll be talking about Twitter a little bit later, with one lonely tweet or a Facebook page without a profile picture is obviously a bit dire, but many people nowadays take things to the other extreme. Floods of posts cluttering people's news feeds is no fun and will often lead to the opposite of what you're trying to accomplish, which is in essence trying to get people to buy your product. So I would suggest posting once or twice a day. It's ample to start with. And that's only if you have something, as I said, that is relevant to say. Stay unique, stay relevant, and stay on topic. And lastly, I'd say steer clear of spamming. So spamming is essentially when you send out the same message over and over and over and expecting more responses and different responses and more purchases. And it leads to the absolute opposite. So there's a misconception that spamming can only occur over email, when you get all those marketing emails through asking you to buy this and that and what have you. That's not so. Inundating your followers or your friends on Facebook with the same sales messages day after day, week after week, it's not going to convert to sales. It's going to do the opposite. It's going to really turn people off. Put yourself in your customer's position. So does spam spur you to make a purchase? I didn't think so. So there you go. So those are my 5 golden rules for social media marketing. And I'm going to try and keep those and bear those in mind when we go about setting up our profile shortly. Before I wanted to get onto establishing a Facebook page and a Twitter page, etc., which are very easy to do, I wanted to go through the top 10 social media platforms of this year, because a lot of you might have seen these logos around, seen those little V's or those little cameras and things, but you don't know exactly what they are. So I just wanted to run through them quickly. Some are going to be more or less relevant to you as ADIs. Obviously, the top 3, as you can see there, are the most relevant, but I thought it would be worth giving you a lowdown on all of them. So very quickly then, Vine. Vine is for mini movies, essentially, because watching videos longer than 6 seconds gets a bit tedious, apparently. Well, to young people anyway. So this is essentially what Vine is. It's a place where you can upload your mini movies, which your followers pass on, thus inducing a viral status. So, a very funny movie will become viral, which is actually a good thing. So many people will view it and many people enjoy it and pass it on to others. I haven't really worked out how this will be incredibly relevant to driving instructors, so I'm just going to move on. Number 9 is Flickr. Flickr is essentially a social media platform for professional photographers. So it's where if you have a fancy camera and do a lot of kind of photography projects and things, this is where you'd go and upload your photos and people would like and share them. Number 8 is VK. Now, I had no idea what this was until last year. I had to do a little bit of Googling myself. So I found out it is the leading Russian-speaking social media platform in the world. So there's a lot of Russian speakers out there. and it's particularly popular in Kazakhstan and the Ukraine. So probably not the most relevant platform for the UK. So moving along. Instagram. Now this, oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Instagram. This is my favorite social media platform, and it's the fastest growing as well. So Instagram has about 800 million unique visitors, and it's a photo sharing site. So I think this year has definitely been the year of the image, and Instagram has become the ultimate photo sharing network on the web, and it has one sole purpose, and that is to share pretty pictures. It's very simple, very effective, and super easy to set up. And you will use a hashtag, which I'll explain a little bit more later. You'll use a hashtag, and when people can search for you, they can search using hashtags, and they can find out a little bit more about you and your driving school. So I'll show you a little bit later how to set that up. It is a lot of fun. Tumblr, it's a microblogging site, mostly for youngsters. So a microblog is kind of short stories and short posts that you would send out, and it's mostly used by teens, and mostly used when talking about their favorite music and movies and things like that. So again, not the most relevant platform for us. Google Plus. I call Google Plus grown up Facebook. Essentially, it's grown considerably, and it basically builds off your Gmail account. So if you have a Gmail address, it's quite easy to set up, and it assigns your contacts that's in your address book to social circles such as business or news or automotive and things. So it creates segmented communities of people to share the same interests as yourself. Pinterest is another great social media platform that's very easy to set up. And it's essentially an interactive series of mood boards where you can pin your favorite images and products. So companies and businesses are slowly cottoning onto the power of image-based marketing, and they're setting up their own boards for Pinterest users to follow and repin to their own profiles. Now, the most important ones I wanted to speak about, and the ones that I'm going to go into more detail on this evening, is first up, LinkedIn. It's basically social media for your career. So you have a mini kind of CV on there and things, and you can endorse people and tell them, write reviews and get people to write reviews on you, and kind of update when you've done various CPD courses and things. It's where social media gets serious. So anyone that is looking to make professional connections, I think, should be on LinkedIn. And it is, in essence, the social media platform for your career. And as you develop and grow professionally, so will your LinkedIn profile. Twitter. Twitter is taking over the world 140 characters at a time. Yeah, you can only use 140 characters on Twitter. So it's where the conversation begins and ends, and it's always a hive of activities. Twitter never sleeps. You'll hear it first on Twitter, and it's fast becoming the go-to social media platform for those wishing to engage directly with their potential client base, have direct conversations. And number one, which most of you are probably quite au fait with, is Facebook. 900 million unique visitors. It is the king of social media, a bit of jack of all trades as well, and master of most. It's basically most of the things that can be done separately on all these other social media platforms can be done on Facebook. So it's good for sharing photos, it's good for having conversations, it's good for getting people to write reviews on you and such. So it does a bit of everything, essentially. Right, so let's move on. Let's see how we can set up our Facebook, business, and Twitter profile pages. I can see there are a couple of questions coming in, and I'll be sure to answer them along the way. If not, at the end when we have our question and answer bit of the evening. So, setting up your Twitter and Facebook page. Right. So this is a step-by-step process. I know many of you will have a personal Facebook profile, but I wanted to show you how to put together a business page, which is much easier than setting up a personal profile page. So if you are on your Facebook page, your normal profile page, Down the left-hand side of the margin, it says pages. There's ours, Driving Instructors Association. This is our page. And then you click Create Page. It's that little orange icon with the plus sign there, Create Page. You click that, and it'll take you to this number 2 page here. And it says, create a Facebook page to build a closer relationship with your audience and your customers, which is what we're looking to do. Then you'd click that you are a local business or place, because that's what you are. And then it's just a case of filling out these. So I'd usually click automotive, and then you click the name of your business, write in here, type in here the name of your business and your address, and just press get started, and away you go. It's as easy as that. Right. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and customize your page. So just for ease, I've kind of taken a screen grab of our DIA page here. As you can see, there's some similarities to a normal, Facebook page, a personal one, but it's set out slightly differently down the left-hand side. So the first thing I do, if you're familiar with Facebook, is get some branding on there. So you click this icon here, and you would choose your cover photo. Ours, we usually put kind of a little events, kind of bulletin over there, a little event icon, or alternatively, you can put a picture of maybe a picture of your vehicle or your branding and such over here. Then you can add a profile picture. We just put the DIA logo. I think logos work well. They're easily identifiable. It's good for brand recognition, added brand reach, getting people au fait with kind of, your branding. But there's nothing wrong with putting a profile picture of yourself. That's fine. But maybe just keep it professional. Maybe you in your polo shirt and your branding and things like that. What's great about the business page is that you can have a call to action button, and this is this call to action button here, and you can change that. So because we've got our road shows here, my call to action button here is book now. But you can change it to say things like contact us, call us, book now, anything like that. You can change it you just click it, and you can change it to anything you want to. Right, so after you've done those kind of basic details, you can put in further little bits of about yourself over here, about your business. So your address, your contact number, your opening hours, if that's applicable to you, even the price range of your business. So all you do is you kind of click the about there, and you edit it accordingly. You also put your website, which is great for SEO. So you can put your website URL. And then essentially, that's it. You can start posting. You can't really change the colors and things on Facebook. It is what it is. But you can do a lot of branding up at the top of the page there. So a great way to kind of get instant likes onto your page and get kind of, drive traffic quickly is to invite people to like your page. You can just send them invitations and get your family and friends involved as well to start off with. And then you can post your first update. Once you've got a couple of scores of likes, you can change your URL. Once you get your company page, it will say something like www.facebook.com/12357H, 2ZP or whatever. You can change it to www.facebook.com/Driving Instructors Association, or obviously name of your driving school. But you've got to wait until you rack up a few more likes first before you do that. And then away you go. So once you've set up your Facebook profile, you've got your cover photo, you've got your profile photo, you've added a little bit more about yourself, you've sent out some invites to people. What should you post? Well, most things, lots of things. Because a company profile is a little bit different, you would have reviews. So invite people to review you. Friends and family that have taken lessons with you, pupils that have passed with you, etc., etc. And there's nothing wrong with incentivizing people to do that. One of our ADIs here this evening was telling me how she used to, at the end of a lesson, she used to give them her card and say, oh, if you could, review me on Facebook, that would be great. And I was thinking maybe you could give away a free highway code, maybe if you could you review me, please? And and when you get a free highway code, usually you give out sweets and things as well. Have a packet of sweets, which and attached to that would be her business card, and be like, oh, can you quickly rate me on Facebook? I'd really appreciate it. There's nothing wrong with that. And honestly, once you start, you build momentum, and it's funny, once you get a handful of reviews, how many more people are that gets the word out to, and in turn more reviews will kind of trickle in over the weeks. So what we try to post, because we're a little bit different to a driving school, but you feel free to have a look at our page any day of the week, see kind of what we're posting, and you're welcome to share that directly onto your company page, because it's really easy to do. All you do is you go to our page. If you like any of our posts, just kind of click the share button there, and it can go to your profile and to your business page. So we try and share industry news. We think that's really important, thus having consultative status with the DVSA, DFT, and serving on the Road Safety Delivery Group. We find that very, very important, and our members love that as well. If you have a look, this kind of important message from the DVSA regarding driving examiner strikes, over 2,000 people saw that. So it's really good for us to post things that are most relevant to our followers and our friends, and it got shared 21 times as well. We also kind of post fun things, fun pictures and videos, but also, we were quite heavily involved with the Big Learner Relay, so we posted a lot on that in the last couple of weeks. So anything like that does really well as well, gets people engaged, gets people interested in what you're doing. And it's all about a two-way street. So it's not all about what we're posting on our page, but it's what other people are posting back and what we post on other people's pages. So we get some great feedback. So we got Colin here who passed the standards check recently. He received an A, and he wrote on our page that he thanked everybody for for their help and guidance, and that he found the DIA Essential Guide booklet to the standards check quite useful. So that was great of him to post that. Very, very nice of him, and in turn we commented back to him. So he got some feedback from us, and it's all about a two-way conversation and getting added reach. We've had some people comment about our webinars here nicely, and someone also was very happy that they featured in our magazine. So it's all about that two-way street. So as you can see, there's a wide range of things that you can post on your profile, and in turn post on other people's profiles as well to get a conversation started. And if people see you posting on other groups and other kind of pages, you get the word out more. It is, you can post all you like on your page, but it's about posting on other people's and having conversations with other people as well, because it really will give you an extended reach. Also, I think it's quite important that you pop in your website address, your driving school website, not your social media one, but your .com or .co.uk in there as well. Gives your website added reach also. It's very easy to do that, and it will automatically hyperlink for you. Right, so the next thing I wanted to do is talk to you a little bit about the other features that Facebook pages have, which are completely unique to a personal page, and that is the analytics. So the analytics is kind of the insights into your page that show you how well your posts are doing once you post them. So they're very easy to access once you've got your business page. At the top of your page, it says page, messages, notifications, insights, and publishing tools. If you click insights, it will take you to a whole host of analytics that will break down each and every one of your posts and see where your followers and your likes are coming from. I don't have a lot of space or time to kind of go through here each one of those. There are so many. There's ones that show you exactly where your followers are coming from in the UK and abroad, right down to the city. But the ones that I find most interesting are kind of my posts, how many people read my posts, and how many people share them on. I find that very interesting. Facebook is so amazing. It'll even tell you the makeup of your audience. It'll tell you what percentage are female and male as well. So there's a lot of crazy in-depth analytics to look for. But I use these three. So these are very important to me. Number 3, it says see when fans are online. And this is great because I can see what time all my followers are online and when my posts get the best pickup, what time of the day. So I can see here, hope it's clear enough for you, that from about 8 a.m. in the morning, there is a peak and when my posts are read or picked up. And then it dips slightly during the day, and then it picks up again around kind of the 8, 9 p.m. So I'm able to use that tool to know when to post. So I won't set posts up to, at 3 a.m. in the morning. Obviously, that you can see there it's really low. And I can post throughout the day. It's pretty high engagement level, but mostly it's first thing in the morning when people are waking up. Maybe they're checking their social media profiles over breakfast or whatever and then in the evenings, really high in the evenings because they're probably settling down, kind of not up to much, maybe scrolling through their Facebook news feed or such, while watching TV or whatever it might be. So those are the best engagement levels. And you may not be on social media at 10 o'clock at night, but your followers are, and it's really easy just to schedule a post. So let's say you're on social media at 2 p.m. because you don't have a lesson, but maybe you don't want to post at 2 p.m. because you don't get many people reading it then. It's very easy. Once you write your post in your update bar, there's a little icon to the one side that says schedule post, and you just change the time. So if you put there 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. or 10 p.m., it will go out at that time. So you don't have to log on insanely early in the morning or later on in the evening. If you've got other things to do, if you've got lessons and things, or you just want to sleep, you can schedule those posts very easily. What I also like to have a look at is to see where my followers are coming from. So not geographically, but what websites they're coming from. So there's external referrers here. So the number of times people come to your page from a website or from Facebook. So I can see a lot of people are coming off driving.org, which is the DIA official website. A lot of us are searching for us on Google as well. And some of our followers are coming from some of them are coming from our shop as well. All right. So let's then move on to setting up your Twitter profile. So I find Twitter a lot easier to set up than Facebook. It takes 2 seconds. There's a lot less kind of customizable features and things. The one thing you can do though is change kind of the color of your fonts and things like that where Facebook can't. But there's a lot less that goes into making a Twitter profile. So when you go onto www.twitter.com, this is kind of what you're seeing in front of you. And it says new to Twitter, sign up. Very easy to do. You just pop in your full name, email address, and a password, and bam, you're done. That is it. That's all you need. So a few things to remember when kind of setting up your Twitter is try and make your Twitter name the same as your business name, because that's great for SEO. So that's your search engine optimization, because Google will pull through stuff from your Twitter profile onto your Google standing and add to your Google standings when people are searching for you. So Google, when people search for you, they will not just find your website, but they'll find all your social media profiles. So make sure that your profile name is the same as your business name. You'll often see an @ symbol in front of your name. That's how people, kind of talk to you on Twitter. They put an @ before your username. All right. So let's say your name. Okay. Let's say for argument's sake, let's take me. My name is Amy Turner, but I work for the DIA. My @ symbol, my username doesn't have to be @Amy Turner. Okay. It can be @DIA because it's your business here that you're kind of portraying, not your personal profile. So they don't have to be the same. I can be Amy Turner @ the DIA in my profile. I'll show you a little bit about, I'll show you how that looks like in a minute. So this is your profile. Very easy to edit and takes 2 seconds as opposed to about 5 minutes. Much easier than Facebook. So very easy. You can change your name over here. We are the DIA, and our address, as it were, our Twitter handle, as it's called, is @the DIA. the_DIA, and that's how people are able to communicate with us. And very easy to change your photos. So you just pop your cursor over that, and it says change your header photo. You can change that to anything you want. You can use the same one as you did for Facebook, so maybe a picture of your car or some branding or whatever it might be, and change your profile picture. We just use our DIA logo, but of course you needn't just use your logo. You could use a profile picture if you like. Then you add your biography, so a little bit about yourself. So I'm a driving instructor. We are a driving school based in the Sussex areas. We specialize in training drivers with diverse needs or nervous students or whatever it might be. A little bit about you, but keep it short because you can't put much in there. You add your location, and again, you can add your website address, www.driving.org or whatever it might be. Again, very, very, very good for SEO. And try and keep your biography short as well, because Google will pull that biography through in the search results when people search for you on Google. So keep it catchy, keep it relevant. It's one of our golden rules. Add a website where applicable. You can also change a theme. So a theme is kind of your coloring on the background as well. You can change that. You needn't. It's not necessary. But if you would like to, conveniently, Twitter is that nice kind of DIA blue, so we don't need to change it. Right, and once you've added your profile picture, your header photo, you put a bio and one or two other bits of information, you can start posting. Twitter will throw up people that you can follow. So, they'll see that you're a driving school and they'll get you to follow kind of road safety organizations. Follow the DIA. We've got over 5,000 followers. So that will extend your reach from the get-go very, very quickly and very, very easily. And anybody who talks to us on Twitter and on Facebook, they'll always get a shout out. We'll always reply. We'll always retweet. Which I'll tell you a little bit more about retweeting in a second. So if you want added reach and get a quick following, we don't mind helping you out. So, drop us a line. Great. So what I wanted to do next was show you how easily it is to get a good Twitter profile going. Here are some examples. Obviously, I've blurred out some of the names here, but you get the idea. This is a great beginner's profile here. This driving school, they don't have a logo, but they've got their little L plate here, so we know exactly what they do and who they are. Branding is on point. There's a nice aspirational image here that works really well for young learner drivers. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go on a road trip. I want to learn how to drive, and it all works very well. Also, they're pretty good at kind of retweeting the highway code and things like that. They're keeping things relevant with their conversation. I'll talk a little bit more about Twitter conversations in a minute. So yeah, this is probably like the intermediate. This driving school has started customizing. They've got their little orange branding over here. They've got a great profile picture, and there you can see the side of their driving school there. And they're also very good at regular updates and things. You can see here. They're also using their hashtags, which I'll talk about in a second. And at the bottom, this is how the big brands do it. So this is Goodyear, one of our major partners. And you can see they've got very professional kind of, photographer there with their great, Land Rover images and branding to the right and their logo to the left here. And they've changed their coloring as well, their background colors on their fonts and things. So very professional, very sleek, very good, not too cluttered. I think probably the best advice I can give with regards to Twitter is keep it simple. As I mentioned before, you can only post 140 characters at a time, so keep things streamlined, keep things simple. Don't want to bog people down with too many images, too many crazy images, and too much type. So that would be my advice there. Great. So what I got quite a few questions on before I started the webinar on that sign-up form was, what do all these symbols mean? And they really are quite simple, but I understand when social media first got up and running and this language started evolving, people were quite bewildered. But there's only about 3 major ones that you've got to remember on Twitter, and you're A for away. A lot of these now are being used on Facebook as well, and on Instagram and on LinkedIn. So bear this in mind, and you can use them on a couple of different platforms, but they originated on Twitter. So the first one is the @ symbol over here, and as I said, the @ symbol is used before a Twitter handle or Twitter username, as it were, and you use that to talk to another Twitter user. If you don't use that @ symbol, they're not going to get that conversation. They're not going to get that message through on their notifications. They're not going to see it. And you can also refer or tag a user in a post using this icon. So you can talk directly to somebody. So OptimusDriver.com spoke directly to us and said at the DIA. So we got this as a direct message to us, and anybody who kind of follows us and follow Optimus Driver would see the conversation also. But you can also use it to refer in a conversation. So that would go out to all your followers. So Tom here said, thanks to Ingenie and the DIA for a very interesting webinar on telematics. Now that went down, that goes out to all of Tom's followers. Whereas the first one would just go through to the ones that, it's a direct message that just goes out to us. Whereas this one, all of Tom's followers will see this. So that's the difference basically between the two. A hashtag. Here's a hashtag. This refers to a topic and it groups together tweets that use the same hashtag. So it's a great way of reaching out to people that share similar interests. People use hashtags to search for things and also for people to find them. So if you use a hashtag like hashtag driving instructor or hashtag driving instructor Birmingham or hashtag driving lessons London, if anyone's searching for driving lessons London or driving lessons Birmingham, whatever, will be able to find you very quickly and very easily without having to follow you or know anything about you. It's a bit like a mini Google search engine. So here, these are excellent examples of hashtags here. Need driving lessons? These guys are awesome. Check out, and they've got the URL and hashtag driving lessons, metro driving, and driving instructor. What I did to find this is I just typed in hashtag driving instructor, and this is what came up. So it's great. So you can get your pupils to pop a post on Twitter, something along these lines, and other pupils can find you. Alternatively, you can write a post and include that hashtag driving instructor or hashtag driving instructor leads or wherever, if you want to kind of narrow it down a little bit more. Here someone says, anyone know of a good driving instructors in Leeds? There you go. Someone's actually asking people, and they've used a hashtag driving instructor. So if you're on Twitter and you kind of just searching through the hashtag driving instructor when you go in the search bar, people like this can probably come up, and who knows, they could be a potential student of yours, potential pupil, potential customer, and you can reach out to them directly. So that's always kind of helpful to bear in mind. Right, and the next one is an RT. An RT stands for retweet, and this means you repeat someone's tweet so that it appears on your newsfeed as well as theirs. So if you like something that you see on Twitter, you will just press the retweet, which is this little green button, and it will copy that message onto your newsfeed and send it out to all your followers. So we sent out this message about the new bus, the DVSA, well, not so new anymore, and all these people retweeted it, which means they put it on their wall, essentially. And we retweeted something. So Collingwood Learners, who is a partner of ours, tweeted about our events, and we liked that. We favorited it there, and we retweeted it and sent that out to all our followers, and thus gaining added reach for everybody involved and gaining more followers. So here's some quick tips for posting on Twitter if you're a little bit bewildered, because Twitter is huge. It's absolutely massive. But I think the key here is to keep things simple. So use those 140 characters wisely. Where Facebook doesn't really have a limit to how much you can post, although you obviously don't want to be posting paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraphs on Facebook, Twitter, they give you a very, very clear guideline. You have to use 140 characters, no more. Okay, less, but no more. So ensure your tweets have a purpose. Always think about what you want to post before you post it. Keep them short, keep them punchy. People don't spend a lot of time reading on Twitter. They scroll through things very, very quickly. So to have a look, if it's a bit long-winded or not of relevance to them, they kind of march on, they move on. So keep them short and punchy, and shorten words wherever possible. So things like days of the week and dates and things like that. I wouldn't use kind of street or slang or anything like that, but kind of shorten words is not a problem. And also, I can't overstate this enough, link to your website. So because every one of those posts that is sent out into the Twitter atmosphere it's picked up by Google and improves your SEO, your search engine optimization. So when people search for you on Google, they can find you easier. All right. Another tip I'd say is link and reference other websites and other talk to people. If and talk about services that and products you like, whether it be like He-Man dual controls or a certain type of sat nav or certain insurance kind of product or things like that. Talk about it, tweet about it, and tweet about things that are trending in your industry. Trending means just popular in your industry, and things that will have wide appeal, because if you speak about things of interest in the industry, it'll be picked up by others, and who knows, that could well convert to more interest in your business, further reach, and obviously convert to sales, hopefully in the long run. I've often spoken about linking to your website and how important that is. If you are writing a tweet and it's maybe 130 characters long and you can't fit in your whole URL of your business, your whole website address, there's a great little website called bit.ly.com. And there, all you essentially do is put in your website or put in the link that you want to post, and it will shorten it to just 5 or so characters. Very, very, very short. And then you can just copy that link into your tweet, so that you get that 140 characters, so it's not too long. What's also great about Bitly is if you sign up, it's very free. It's free to sign up. You can track how well your post does. So if you send out a tweet with your URL to your website, you can see how many people click onto that URL and click onto your website, which is great, again, for analytics and insight. So there you go. Those are my top tips for Twitter. Can't say that too fast. And quickly then, I wanted to talk about examples of Twitter engagement. So here, just kind of how people use the @ symbol and hashtags and things. So Goodyear Tires had a conversation with us, but instead of putting the @DIA at the front of the conversation, so it would just go to us, they put it in the middle, so it would go out to all our followers and all of their followers. And it talks about kind of our parent pack and driving academy and such. We get great feedback from our members here. John has spoken about him. He's kind of talks about being a member of the DIA. He referenced us, and he also used a hashtag. So it's going. This tweet went out to over 5,000 people, and anybody would be able to see it who searched for driving school in the search bar, which is great. Here is Mark Salisbury, who talked about our PDDI day at Chester Racecourse. He referenced Chester. He put in our URL, and it was great. It reached out to loads of people and spurred a conversation. And here's a conversation we had. So there you go. There's just a little bit of kind of tips and hints on how to use retweets and favorites and @ and hashtags. The last 15 minutes or so, I wanted to chat about more emerging forms of social media, things that are kind of less established but no less important. And that's LinkedIn, which I kind of spoke about as being kind of your Facebook for your career. So you can connect with your fellow instructors and potential pupils on LinkedIn. It's great for your professional image, and kind of talks a little bit more about what you've done CPD wise and training wise, and how your business progresses. Again, you use your website address and things for added SEO. LinkedIn has 2 different types of profiles. It has a company profile where it talks about solely your business, okay? But you can still connect with individuals and other businesses on your company profile. Your company profile is used just to update people on what your business has been up to. Maybe you want to talk about, so-and-so has passed their test, or you can also share industry news on there and things like that. You can share, images and articles as well. But on there, you don't really talk about your individual or personal CPD. You don't endorse people. You don't, you don't write reviews and people don't really write reviews on you. It's more about your company as a whole, and it's mostly just there to share updates on your business. Very easy to kind of get a LinkedIn. You just, when you go to linkedin.com, put in your first name, your surname, email, and password. Easy as that. You can also link it to your Facebook. All social media profiles now can be linked in some way. So, for instance, if you post on Facebook, it can be posted directly to Twitter. So it's great. It kills two birds with one stone. It's a lot less work as well. Over here is just an image of what your company profile will look like. So it's literally just a little bit about your business. You can have your logo and your image, which is kind of like your cover image, and you just post updates about what you've been up to as a business. Your personal profile is a little bit different in that it talks about you as an individual. So it keeps track of your professional development. You can add your educational kind of particulars, your work experience, your skills. It's a great place to include any CPD that you do. And it's good to connect with colleagues, associations, and franchises. Here, it's a little bit different because, as you can see to the right-hand side, you can add all your experience. People can kind of write recommendations for you and endorse your skills. So, your training, your coaching, your team building, and your leadership, people can add all those skills to your profile for you. And what's nice is if they endorse you or give you kind of a skill and say you're good at a certain aspect of training, then you can go and endorse them for a skill as well, or write a recommendation. Maybe you worked in a franchise alongside somebody, write a recommendation for them. It's posting someone else's page helps them, but it also helps you. Right. And lastly, I wanted to touch on Instagram, which is my favorite social media profile platform. It's the fastest growing social media network, and it's probably the quickest out of all of these social media platforms to set up. All you do is you can link it directly from your Facebook. So when you post on Instagram, it can post on Facebook as well at the same time. And what's interesting about Instagram is that you can only use it on your mobile phone. It's instant, it's in the name. And it's for all visual-based kind of updates and things. So you can only post short videos and images. And it makes use of the same shortcuts as Twitter. So you can use hashtags on here. So over here, I've taken a screen grab. When I've typed in driving instructor, I've got here driving instructor, driving instructors, driving instructor Sunderland, driving instructor training. So look, people are searching for these items on a daily basis. When I put in driving instructor here under people, we come up first, which is quite nice. But then all these other driving instructors come up as well. So it's a really easy way, like a mini Google, if you were. And your profile just looks like this. What you do is you press this little camera button here, and you can you take a photo, and then you instantly post it to Instagram. You can also search through, if you've taken a photo in the past, maybe you can just scroll through your photos, your stream, and post a photo that you took previously as well. That is essentially it. It's visual Twitter, as it were, and it's fantastic. And as you can see here, I've got the hashtag driving instructor up, and loads of driving instructors are using it. I think it's going to be the next thing, and it's really easy to do. Our Instagram is going from strength to strength, so it just shows. Before I get on to questions quickly, I want to just share some quick tips for social media engagement. So I'd say to start off with, if you're not really au fait with Facebook and Twitter, I'd say to start off with, post about 3 times a week, ideally once a day, but only if you've got something relevant and interesting to say. As my insights show on Facebook, it's probably best to post in the morning or evening when most people are on social media. To gain added reach from people, tag people in your posts, use hashtags, and share things that have wide appeal and of interest to most people. As I said, social media is a two-way street, so read up and share other people's posts to your page. Get a conversation started. Make use of pictures and videos wherever possible, because what I find is people on social media don't really take the time to read in-depth pieces, so they're kind of more visually driven. So try more short text, especially on Twitter. And you know what? If you're just establishing yourself on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever it might be, join an associations page. So we're on all of them. So join us, like us, comment on our page, and we will return the favor. And there's loads of discussion boards on Facebook as well that you can take part in. You can also share that you are on social media, so you can put little Facebook and Twitter icons and stuff. And you can integrate widgets onto your website. Your designer, your web designer, will be able to help you with that. Or alternatively, as you can see here, that's my email signature at the bottom of all my emails, and I show that I am part of all these social media platforms here, and that the DIA can be reached on any of these. And yeah, get going. Just use hashtags, play around, use ats, retweet and favorite people's tweets, and get a conversation started. You'll be surprised at how quickly you gain momentum, and kind of you start reaping the benefits of all of this. So thank you. I stuck to time. I can't believe it, with 56 minutes and 44 seconds. So thanks so much for that. So what I want to do next is kind of answer any questions that you might have. I'm going to have a look at the question box now. Feel free to type away if you've got any more. I'm just going to go through the list now and see who we've got. All right, so Natasha just asked, are you going to provide the presentation as a handout, or do I need to take notes? Sorry about that, Natasha. I hope you didn't take notes, because I will definitely be sending this over email to you. If you did, that's not a bad thing either. What I'll do is I'll send out the presentation over email tomorrow to everybody who attended. Jeffrey asked, what's the average of scheduling posts? Surely they are read whenever. True, but what Facebook does essentially is when it posts things at the top of the page that are posted earlier. So the newest posts are ranked higher up in people's news feeds. So if you post something at 2 p.m. And no one is really, or not many people on social media, and they only log on at 6 p.m., they're going to see all the posts that are on at 6 p.m. first, and only if they've been really scrolling through all their Facebook things, or Twitter, or Instagram for that matter, only if they've been scrolling for a good while will they see your post that was posted at 2 p.m. I think that's why scheduling is so important, because as soon as they log on in the evening, your post will kind of be seen first. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Emma asks, can you recommend what sort of pictures could be uploaded on Instagram? I thought it would be great, especially for test passes, but haven't signed up and I don't know what else to post. Yes, Emma. As you can see on most of our Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, there's a lot of very happy, smiley pupils holding up their test pass. And that seems to be the go-to, because, a picture speaks 1,000 words. And people can obviously see that and say, like, oh, equate you with a test pass. So that's great. But other things that you can post, kind of updates from ourselves, a kind of industry news from the DVSA, or through interesting guys like Goodyear do loads of great parent and young learner driver resource materials and things. So check out their page. We try and post like funny videos and things like that with regards to learning to drive and things. So and lots of other people do. So I would say try and keep it light. Try to keep it interesting. And yeah, those test passes are good as a recommendation tool. But kind of little like throwback Thursdays and TGIF, Thank God It's Friday, like little fun things like that work really, really well as well. And they can be found all over social media. So it's not always about kind of pushing your products too much. It's also about having fun, and if people see you have a personality and it shines through, it does the world of good. So I think try and keep it balanced. So industry news and updates, fun things, informative things, interesting kind of road safety articles and things like that. all do very well to show that you're engaged. So I hope that answers your question. Great. Oh, great. Thanks, Jeffrey, and thanks, Emma. Are there any other questions that you would like to ask before I sign off for this evening? You can reply yes or no in the question bar. As I said, a lot of social media is about, when you first start off, it's about kind of having fun and seeing kind of what gets picked up well. But before you start posting, have a look at what other people in the similar kind of sector are doing to give you kind of hints and tips and to see what does well. Again, if you have any other kind of questions or things, please feel free to drop me a line. I can be reached at amyturner@driving.org, or just the main office, help@driving.org, to answer any of your questions that you might have. But thank you so much for being so nice and so kind for my first ever webinar with the DIA. I really appreciate it. I hope you got something out of it. I'm hoping to do a few more webinars over the next few months. This was very much something just to kind of look at an introduction to. So it was very much on the surface of things, trying to just give you an idea and kind of so you could distinguish between the different platforms and know the difference and things like that and how to set them up. But in the coming months, I kind of want to look a bit more in depth. So it would be great if you could let me know using the text box or sending myself or Olivia an email, kind of topics or questions that you want to look at, and I can maybe dedicate a webinar purely to Twitter or purely to Facebook or purely to emerging forms of social media or dealing with certain issues that you might have, specifically technical kind of things. So yeah, that's it. That's all from me. Thank you so much for joining me again, and have a lovely evening. Good night. Bye.